Ready to get your elopement photography business dialed in for 2026? In today's episode, we're breaking down 26 things you can do before the new year hits, from gear upgrades to automations, website fixes, marketing tweaks, and some behind-the-scenes systems that will move the needle. Think of this like your quick start checklist to set you up for a wildly successful 2026. And make sure you stay till the end because I'm sharing all of our Black Friday deals that are live until midnight on November 25th. We haven't done a Black Friday deal in years, so these might be the game changer that helps you hit your biggest goals next year. Welcome to Stoked, the podcast that helps adventure elopement photographers hit six figures and beyond in their businesses without hustling on social media. I'm your host, Megan McPhail, a former burnt-out emergency veterinarian that quit my hard-earned career to become an elopement photographer. Now I'm living a life I absolutely love, full of travel, adventure, and financial abundance, and I am hell-bent on helping you do the same. Are you ready to start booking out your calendar with dream couples in breathtaking locations and feeling genuinely stoked about your elopement photography business, life, and bank account? Then let's dive into this week's episode. Hey, it's your host, Megan McPhail.
And your co-host, Todd.
And today we are covering 26 tasks you should complete before 2026 in your elopement photography business. So Todd did most of the legwork on this episode, figuring out 26 important things that you can fix, you can improve, you can do, you can implement all before 2026. So you can do all these things in the next month.
And I initially got this idea, I think it was from some other podcast or article that I had seen. Just like in general, it was about like 26 life things to do. So we'll also have a PDF of this checklist available in the show notes. So if you want a visual representation of what this is, so you can kind of check them off as you knock them out in the remaining weeks of the year, that'll make it a little bit easier. As well as then the first 10 that we're going to talk about, basically all just want to like make sure that what you're projecting out into the world is like a reflection of you and what your business, and if that information speaks to your ideal couple. So let's dive in to number one.
Okay, number one, review your website homepage. So make sure all the copy is up to date and accurate. Update your photos with some of your 2025 photos, and make sure that you list the locations that you serve. That is super, super important. I want that to be kind of above the fold. So right when you get on the website, I want you to show like, these are where I do elopements. Number two is review your pricing page on your website. Make sure that, again, photos are updated, all the copy is up to date and accurate, that you are really using your pricing page as like a sales page to communicate your value and who you are. You're not just listing your prices first thing. And if you have booked 3 things at your existing pricing, then go ahead and increase your prices. You know, you don't have to wait for 2026. Like, you should be increasing your prices over time, not just once a year. And if you already have 25% to 50% of the weddings or elopements or whatever you want booked for 2026, if you already have a bunch of things booked for 2026, make sure you raise your prices.
And then the next thing you should say about that is evaluate if you want to use your starting price on your pricing page or if you want to do your full pricing. So we could probably do a whole podcast episode about that specifically. But in a nutshell, the starting price will get you more inquiries, but maybe less vetted or less quality inquiries, which may be a good thing if you're working on your sales call script and basically doing those and like learning and getting better at those. That's a good option. But if you have lots of inquiries coming in and you want to kind of weed them out before you get a bunch of stuff flooding your inbox, the full pricing is a good thing to have on your website. So your potential clients can see basically what you offer. And if you're out of their price range right away, hopefully they want to inquire and just alleviate that from your workflow.
Exactly. And then number 3, I want you to review your contact page. Again, is everything up to date and accurate? Are 2025 photos on there? But then I also want you to make sure that if you still have gender-specific words like bride and groom, go ahead and remove those because we want to make sure that we are open to everybody. And I also want you to include a space to put pronouns and also a phone number. So this has been something that we've been doing a lot in 2025 because so many of our inquiry response emails are going to spam. So if you have a phone number in there, then you can text people and be like, hey, check your inbox. I just emailed you. So I think that's really important these days. And it's not a bad idea to like actually put that on your contact form too, that this is just like a secondary way to contact. We're not going to like spam your phone with a bunch of text messages or something.
So we have it on ours as like a not required field. So when they're filling it out, they have to put their name, obviously. They have to put their location. They have to put a date. But the phone number, again, because we don't want to like pigeonhole someone into being like, I don't want to give my phone number, so I don't want to inquire. So I do, again, like it's an option there, but it's not required for them to submit the form.
Number 4 is review your about page. Make sure that photos are updated again, but then also paint the picture of what it's like to work with you on your about page. It shouldn't just be like, hey, I love elopements and I think elopements are the best. And I've loved photography since I was a kid or whatever. Like, what is it really truly like to work with you? How does your specific personality and skill set really help couples? So, yeah, make sure your about page goes a little bit deeper than just the fact that you love photography and you love elopements.
And this is one that like probably isn't going to make or break a sale, but it is nice to like update it because obviously your about you is probably changed since the last time you did your website. So I need to like update kind of again what we're projecting out into the world as who we are.
Exactly. And now we're going to move kind of away from websites onto your social media. I just want to preface this by saying, I say this all the time, but your social media should be bingeable. It should be an extension of your website. It shouldn't be something where we're worried about the algorithm and likes and follower counts and going viral and all that stuff. I want people to be able to find your website, like your website, then check out your social media and be able to kind of like get more information about what it's like to work with you and stuff like that. So, number 5 is update your Instagram and TikTok profile photo. I want it to be like your smiling face.
Yeah, like people don't want to hire corporations or businesses for their logos. They want to like hire a real person to like show that face.
Exactly. Number 6 is review your Instagram and TikTok name. So you want your name on there. I can't tell you how many times I go to somebody's Instagram and I can't figure out what their name is.
Yeah, their business name is there, but not like what their actual like human name.
Yeah, exactly. And then you want it to include like elopement photographer and where you're serving. And that kind of is an extension of number 7, which is to update your Instagram and TikTok bio to again include the locations that you serve and give them a little sneak peek of what it's like to work with you. Again, you're really wanting to sell your personality in this kind of stuff. Number 8 is to review your Instagram link. So the link in your bio and your TikTok, if you're able to do a link. I know sometimes it can be hard, like you need a certain number of follower counts or something like that. I'm not the best at TikTok. So yeah, so review your link. Is it accurate? Does it easily let people go to your website? Because again, I see so many people's links where they like have a link tree or all of these links. And it's like, I just want to be able to go to your website because your website should be selling your services. It should be your 24/7 salesperson. So let it be easy to just get to your website. And like, you don't even need a link tree, honestly. You could just send people straight to your website. Definitely don't send people straight to a contact form because then they might be missing a lot of good information about you. Number 9 is make sure you have 3 pinned posts on Instagram. Again, these are a great way to kind of like show who you are for the people who want to like go binge your Instagram. So the first one, I want it to be like your smiling face and photos of you, a description of who you are, what you do, why you do it, who you serve, your favorite locations and photos. Like, make it a whole little graphic carousel that people can kind of like go through and learn more about you. And it can be redundant to your website. Redundancy is key for marketing. So you can just kind of repurpose things from your website in that carousel. The second one, I want it to be like a carousel of your favorite photos and places. And then the third one can be another carousel or a reel. And this is the one where I kind of think like you can like manifest what you want to book with this pinned post. So if you really want to book an 8-hour elopement in San Francisco, showcase an 8-hour elopement and why 8 hours is awesome and all the places you can go and stuff like that. So think of that third post as like what you want to manifest. Number 10, make sure that your Instagram, your TikTok, your website, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, make sure that they are all cohesive as far as branding and what you're saying. And again, redundancy is key. just take things from your website and repurpose them onto other places and make sure that they all kind of go together.
Yeah, so this one I think is kind of like twofold. One, we've talked about before about like this omnipresence where like if someone were to come looking for you, like they would find you on all the different kind of social media platforms, all the different things, and it would all look similar and have the same kind of feel. Or kind of the flip side of that is if, say, someone isn't on TikTok or on Pinterest, like maybe Instagram is like the only thing they use. And so if you're saving some of that information, like, oh, I already put it on TikTok, I'm not going to put it on Instagram. Just getting it out there and like having it in a lot of places is good across the board.
Yeah. Again, redundancy is key. Okay, now we're going to switch gears and talk about gear. So, number 11 is evaluate all of your camera gear. Did you use it this year? Do you love it? Are there lenses that you haven't really touched for the year that you could maybe sell? Is there a new camera body that you need to get because your other one is kind of failing? So, like, do a once over on your gear and see what can be sold and what you maybe need to purchase in 2026.
And I also, like, we just came off our Moab workshop where a lot of the ladies like brought all of their stuff, which is great, I think, for workshops because you never know what's going to happen or what you're going to get into. But we probably all have shit in our cases, bags that like, yeah, that we put them in there as just in case and we didn't use them once. Lugging them around to all these weddings and elopements when they can probably be, thinned out a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I need to take all of our own advice because I have like a 24-70 I haven't used in years. I have an 85 I haven't touched in years. If anyone wants to buy those from me, let me know. It's for Canon. Number 12 is something we also probably need to do. Send camera bodies in for cleaning and calibration. There are definitely photographers out there who get their camera bodies fixed up and recalibrated and download the newest firmware and stuff like that. I'm not the best at that, but it probably should be done.
Yeah, and like how rough or how gentle you are with your gear. It's probably been lugged around in cars and airplanes and in the desert, in the mountains, wherever you shoot. So like, yeah, if you haven't done it recently in the last couple of years, then maybe do it.
Yeah. And 13 is send lenses in for cleaning and calibration, or at least I think you could probably get away with giving them a good clean yourself.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like I've seen a lot recently that people are like posting kind of everywhere about like my photos aren't as crisp as they used to be. And so that can be a calibration issue with your lens. 2 years ago, I had to send a 35 in for that very reason. Like it just wasn't focusing as sharply as I wanted.
Yeah.
So I sent it off.
Yeah, another thing I should probably do with my 35 because I remember a first look that was really soft, and I was like, how did I mess this up? I've been doing this for like a decade. And it could be a lens issue. Number 14 is purchase new SD cards for 2026. And this could be a good time to get some biggies. Like back when I first started, a 32 gig SD card was like all you needed. But now with, people making GIFs or GIFs or however you want to say it, and like the high speed bursts that you can do on your mirrorless cameras, you need those biggie SD cards. It scares the crap out of me to like need to change out an SD card in the middle of a wedding. Like I want to make sure that I get all my photos for the whole elopement day, not a wedding. I want to make sure I get all my photos on like 1 or 2 SD cards and not have to change them out during the elopement day. That's like terrifying to me to have to do that. That's where people lose things.
Another part of that is when I first started in this world, like I was super stingy. I didn't want to buy a bunch of them. I was just going to reuse my SD cards from like shoot to shoot, which is okay. But like if you have a lot booked, and we follow this kind of rule of where we don't clear or like reuse an SD card until the gallery is delivered and like accepted by the clients. And they're so inexpensive now. Just buy a bunch of them and you don't have to worry about it. As well as like, how old are your current SD cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can last a long time, but if you're using them a lot, reformatting them a lot, that's just an open window for corruption. And again, like they're really inexpensive. So it's like get a new fresh batch, label them as 2026 or however you have your system so you know. Yeah, just buy some.
Yeah. And number 15 is get a new hard drive for 2026. And this is something that I'm really adamant about. I never delete anything off any of my hard drives. Once something is on a hard drive, it's there forever. And so I get a new hard drive for every year to just start fresh. And that's another thing, like that decreases the likelihood of your hard drive corrupting or having something wrong with it. And they're really cheap these days. Again, like a decade ago, they were so expensive and people would just use the same hard drive forever and delete RAWs off of it and stuff. And that just makes me scared. I'm never going to delete anything off a hard drive because there's a chance that I could be deleting something important. So just get a new hard drive for 2026 and start fresh.
So I just looked this up real quick on Amazon. Like you can get a 2 terabyte solid state drive for like less than $200. You can definitely buy a new hard drive for 2026.
Yeah, do it, do it. Okay, so we're switching gears, and now we're going to talk about updating and streamlining your CRM, so like HoneyBook or Dubsado, whatever you use. And CRM stands for?
Customer Relationship Management Software.
Yeah, perfect. So first, I want you to think about your inquiry response email. Make sure it's canned and easy, because one of the things that can improve your booking rate is responding to inquiries quickly. So if you're having to like recreate your inquiry response every time and it takes you a while, like if that is a bottleneck in your business, make sure your emails are saved. If you find that like, oh, I answer it this way for people wanting this location versus that location, then have a couple different varieties saved and just make it as easy as possible. Number 17 is to create some more canned emails. So I want you to look back and think about like your elopement planning process and the common questions people have and when you check in on them and stuff like that, and make sure that your workflow again is as easy as possible and that you are, basically have emails saved that you can send out to people at certain points of their elopement planning journey. And even if you can turn it into a workflow that sends out things automatically, that's even better. But take this time to improve all of this, because I think a lot of folks are like, oh, if I just get more inquiries and bookings, I'll be set. But then once you get more inquiries and bookings, life gets hard because you have all these moving parts. And the more you have it automated, streamlined, saved, and like a standard operating procedure, the easier your life is going to be. So take this time before January and February, which are big booking months, and improve these aspects of your business that are taking away brain power from you and are bottlenecking your business.
Another little sub point to 17 while you're doing your emails is if you're having to go in your CRM and like when you create your invoice, like having to type in like the same package that you always book, just create it and save it in there. Make it easy, create your 3 packages or however many packages you have. So it's just like a click, boom, it's in the invoice. And again, much easier than having to recreate, like type all the stuff like, oh, you're going to get a full digital gallery, you're going to get sneak peeks, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Like write it once, save it, and use it forever.
And then for 18, I want you also to create canned emails for sneak peek deliveries and your final gallery delivery. You can do this in pick time. I want to make things as easy as far as delivery of photos go and stuff like that. So I have a bunch of canned emails saved in pick time, which is the gallery I use to deliver my photos. And so I always deliver sneak peeks the next day. So I upload them into PickTime and I email them to my couples as well as text message them. So I have a canned email in there like, hey, your sneak peeks are here. Your final gallery will be delivered by X date. Thank you so much. Leave us a review, blah, blah, blah. And then the final gallery delivery email is kind of the same, but then it talks about saving your photos to your computer and backing it up on a hard drive, and then also ask for a review again. So these are all things that you can have ready to go so that you're not having to recreate it every time.
And make sure to put, when you're asking for a review, like a direct link to the Google page that they can review. Don't make them do extra work to find out where to do that. Just give them a link that goes directly to the open field for them to do the review.
All right, now we're going to just kind of some general business things for number 19 through 26. So number 19 is going to be plan the rest of 2025. So I want you guys to make sure that you're taking time off for the holidays and enjoying time with your family. So block those days off and make sure that you're getting your editing done before that. And you should probably set some away messages for your vacation time too, so people aren't wondering where you're at. Number 20 is reflect on 2025. So I want you to think about what went well for 2025 and what went poorly so that you can kind of set yourself up for a better 2026. I don't want you repeating all of the things that went poorly in 2025. Let's learn and grow. And we could do a whole podcast episode about this, and we have kind of in the past. Number 21 is, what do you want your 2026 to look like? I want you to create a vision board for it with your desired number of bookings, your desired income, your desired time off, because you have more control over your year than you think. You can set yourself up to have a really good 2026, but you have to do it consciously and purposefully and actively.
And that reminds me of a quote that I really like go back to for years now. It's prioritize your life or somebody else will. Book those vacations, book those times off when you want time off.
Yeah. And number 22, to make number 21 easier, is purchase a 2026 wall calendar. One of these days, we've got to make our own wall calendar because all the wall calendars out there are ugly. Yeah, I want like a nice, aesthetically pleasing wall calendar. And we did get one for 2025, but then like the boxes are so small, it's like almost unusable. So anyway, this is one of the things I recommend to everybody is to have a whole ass 2026 year calendar where you can see every single month and every single day. So not one where you have to flip it, because I want you to be able to visualize what you want your year to look like. And you're going to block off those vacations. You're going to add in like your currently booked elopements. You're going to look at each month and be like, okay, how many more elopements and weddings can I book this month? And kind of like set up boundaries so that you're not just working off of your CRM or your Google Calendar or something like that. When you can see it all in one view, it just makes a big difference. Like I used to accidentally book things during like Memorial and Labor Day weekend, and then later on be like, oh shit, I wanted to have that weekend off. But because I'm like just booking things in Dubsado, I like just didn't have a good grasp of what I was doing to myself. So yeah, one of these days we're going to make one and it's going to be beautiful and functional. And then some of these last things are not super fancy stuff. But if you have been avoiding this, number 23 is to set up a business bank account. I can't tell you how many people have all of their money just commingling in random accounts, and they don't know how much they're profiting. They're not saving for taxes. They don't know how much they're spending on the business because it's all kind of jumbled. So the more you could have things separated into different business accounts, the better. And this is required if you have an LLC. And every elopement photographer should have an LLC. That just protects your personal assets from your business assets. So if something horrible happened to an elopement couple and they like fell off a cliff or something and sued you, they can't come after your house and your retirement savings and stuff like that. So that's all an LLC does, is it separates your business from your personal life. It's not some weird tax thing or whatever. Like it's something everybody should have. So make sure that your bank accounts are separated, and I'm throwing in the whole, you should get an LLC if you haven't already. Number 24 is one of my biggest hacks for business and life, is applying for a business credit card. We use one from Chase, and actually we have several, but putting all your expenses on a business credit card is amazing because you get points. And especially if you're spending money on ads, you get 3 times the points if you're spending money on your credit card for ads. And this doesn't mean rack up a bunch of debt or anything like that, but those points are things you can use for free personal travel, and you can get first class flights and stuff like that. So we get so many points because we have so many business expenses, and we use those points to go on vacations and stuff.
Yeah, another great thing about having all of your expenses on a single business card is that they're all in just one place. So you can go back and see how much you're spending each month purely on business, not commingled with your groceries, your personal gas, or all that stuff.
Yeah, knowledge is power when it comes to your money. The more you understand where your money is going and where it's coming from, the better off you'll be in your business. Number 25 is also not that fun, but important. Review your last 3 to 6 months of business expenses. I mean, you could review the whole year, but what we really want you to do is kind of like evaluate if there's any subscriptions, whether monthly or yearly, that you can get rid of. You want to run your business as lean as possible. You want to put more money towards things that have a return on investment and are fun for you. So like if you are paying a bunch of subscriptions that you don't use, like cancel those. Don't let them run on for years and years and years.
And yeah, this is a boring one. This is one that like you've probably been putting off, you should do. So I'd recommend going to a brewery or a coffee shop or a cocktail place, wherever you like to have your favorite beverage. Take 1 hour and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and find subscriptions that I no longer need while I'm having my beverage of choice. 1 hour, and then whatever you can get done in an hour, great. And if you go beyond that hour,
do it later.
Yeah.
And then 26 is going to be to check out our Black Friday deals. I don't always sell things on this podcast, but I'm gonna sell our Black Friday deals because they're pretty awesome. So if you're not interested in knowing what our Black Friday deals are, feel free to skip. But if you are interested, they're happening till November 25th. I am doing it kind of ahead of Black Friday because my birthday is November 26th, and then it's Thanksgiving, and I don't want to be selling stuff in the DMs and answering questions like on my birthday. But we haven't had Black Friday deals in years because Todd and I normally go travel internationally because both of our birthdays are in November, so we like to celebrate. But this year we're staying home with our chickens and family. So why not do some Black Friday deals? So there's 3 big ones. So the first one is for the Elopement Photographer Mastermind. And if you've been listening to this podcast, almost every single guest I've had on here is somebody who has been through the mastermind and basically went from 0 to 6 figures as an elopement photographer. So it is our coaching program that basically has everything you need to market, to price, to book, and to plan all-day adventure elopements in the locations of your choice. And it could be a big investment for people because it's a weighty program. We have like 10 group coaching calls a month. We have a whole step-by-step system that you get to go through with homework reviews. We audit your Pinterest and your website and your Google ads. It's got everything that you need. There's a Slack group. There's a bunch of calls with me every month. So it literally has everything you need, more than you need, because everyone is different. And some people really like the Slack group. Some people really like the coaching calls. Some people really like the homework. So you don't have to participate in everything to be super successful in the program. You get to pick and choose based on how well you learn and stuff like that. So we are doing an extended payment plan, which I haven't offered in a long time. But if you sign up for 12 months of unlimited coaching with us, then you can start your payment plan at just $375 a month. And it's normally $750 a month. So we're extending it out so that it's cheaper for you to join. You could pay it off early if you want to once you start making 5K elopement bookings and stuff like that, which everyone does in the mastermind. But yeah, it's designed to get your foot in the door at a cheaper price point so that we can get the ball rolling and you can have your dream business in 2026. It can happen. It can happen quick, guys. So that's that. The next deal is you can get $400 off Adventures in Google Ads. So Adventures in Google Ads is for the photographers that kind of already have their business up and running. They don't need all the extras that come with the mastermind. They really just want to get their website on the first page of Google and start running Google Ads. So I created an online course, but then we also added in a Slack group and monthly coaching calls so that you could get support from me and my support coaches on running Google Ads, because Google Ads can be cheap and easy, but they can also be challenging and nerve-wracking and can take a few months to really see results. And so, I don't want people just running ads for a month and then quitting because they think it doesn't work. I want you to use our help in that program to troubleshoot, to get through the messy middle, and to start booking. We have people booking like $30,000 worth of stuff a month in Adventures in Google Ads. So there's that. And then you can also get $500 off our Dream Destination Workshop series in 2026. So we're going to be in Alaska. We're going to be in Iceland. We are going to be in Switzerland. And you can get $500 off. And all these deals are good until November 25th at midnight. So we're going to drop the link to the deals in the show notes. And yeah, Feel free to DM me directly if you have any questions about which deal would be best for you. But yeah, I'm excited about these deals. I'm excited to welcome more people into our world. I'm excited to help people book out their calendars, make 2026 awesome. And I also want to state that even if you have 0 bookings for 2026, even if you've never booked an elopement before, you can have a successful 2026. These things don't have to take a long time. You can really change things quickly with our help. So yeah, check out the Black Friday deals. Feel free to DM me directly if you have any questions or want to work through things and see which one is best for you at your level of business, because we truly help people at all levels. And come hang out with us in Alaska or Iceland or Switzerland. It's going to be good. There's like helicopters and all kinds of stuff. We're hoping to do parasailing. Like, it's going to be really cool. So yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of Stoked. If you enjoyed the show and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend. If you're looking for more inspiring elopement photography content, check us out on Instagram at Megan McPhail. And if you'd like to hear more about my business coaching and how I can personally help you hit 6 figures as an elopement photographer, then check out my website at www.meganmcphail.com.